All right, we're back.
She back.
ALLison ShiVER back in the house. Let's go.
I'm gonna get a jersey with that on there now, just because people don't look at me like I'm odd already.
That's the most awesome last name ever, though. Like your maiden name.
Yeah,
That's
well,
amazing.
Yeah, I've had a few names since then.
Yes.
It's my current one is more difficult to pronounce apparently than my maiden name. So,
hey, you still driving that Subaru?
yeah. Why would I get rid of that? All-wheel drive, just lesbian goodness.
I was about to say, point lesbian.
Room for storage. I have zero things that I have to store, like zero, and I have no kids and nothing. I just like having the option of space.
That's it.
Yeah. Carry my baggage, my mental baggage.
She said all that lesbian goodness with extra space.
That's it. That's it. She rides for us.
100%.
In a Subaru. I love it. It's great.
Right. And we don't own Subarus and have never owned Subarus. So it's always,
I would really genuinely like to know where that came from though. I guess to be fair, 80s, I haven't really looked into the data, but I have been on Reddit, which to me is better than any peer-reviewed article.
What's up, guys? Omar, Kenneth.
Wait, is she a lesbian?
Slater.
That's a very personal question, Heidi.
Heidi, what's up, girl? Slater, what's up? Ed AI.
Hold on.
Dick Butter.
She's definitely lipstick. Oh my god!
I searched it on Google, and there's something called a lesbaru. It's a noun. It's Canada and U.S. slang, and it's a Subaru automobile regarded as a popular choice of lesbian drivers. Just so everybody knows.
The more you know. We need a big rainbow
star.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Have you ever actually been hit on by a girl before?
Probably so many.
Yes, I would say when I go out specifically. So, sexuality is very fluid for me. I have only dated men, but, it just never, even with the males that I've dated, it's always been a personality thing. So everyone I've ever dated, they all look different size, shapes, body types, colors. It's always been a personality thing that I've been attracted to. So I don't really label, I'm not I'm not into labels, but really I'm not going to walk around saying anything about what I prefer. It's the person, it's the personality.
I totally was just asking if you had ever actually been hit on.
No, I was acknowledging Heidi's question.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is she a lesbian? So that's sorry. In my brain, it all connected. No, when I go out, which has been a long time, out, on the town. Is that what the kids are saying? Paint the town red. I get hit on mostly by females. I think because when I go out with friends, they drink, they act a fool, and I'm very I'm going to fuck shit up. I'm sorry. Wait, is it 12 minutes? What is the minute?
No, you're good.
You're fine. You're
fine. But I'm just very protective of the group. And so I just think the energy I give off, the way I stand and the way I hold myself, it just is more attractive to, I think, females than males. But yeah, a lot. I had one friend, she's polyamorous. So she was married to my her first husband was my second husband. So my first husband that I was married to, we had a big friend group. And then two of the couples branched off, moved, got divorced around the same time. And then her ex moved back and we sort of reconnected. And then after that divorce, she basically reached out to me and was like, haha, told you. And I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. Lesson learned. But we became really good friends again because we both had the same last name. I think there's a name for it when you have both slept with the same guy. I can't remember. Something sisters. Anyways, so she's polyamorous and yeah, it's something there's a name for it. But anyway, she was very open about how she felt about me and all kinds of things. And I had to continually remind her that that was not going to happen.
Oh, wait. So she wanted you to keep the last name and just, you guys could be a
No,
throuple?
like she just wanted to, no, he was gone. So he was like, that was, I could probably, like, if something that would happen before a throuple with those two, I would shave my head like Britney Spears, stop shaving my vagina, and walk into the CrossFit gym to coach with like pasties on my nipples that said like Trump forever. Like I would do that before I had a throuple with those two. Just
noted.
No.
Noted. I see it. I get it.
No.
I get it.
No. No.
Bruce
Anyway.
Wayne. Oh my God.
I don't even know where to segue from that. Oh yeah. Eskimo Brothers is the male terminal. Eskimo Sisters. Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth.
Okay.
That's
There
the
you go.
name.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne, I told you how to get a wrench, bro. You have to actually comment on the video after the video is over. That's the only way we found Jody. So we're trying. I know you were on the Get a Wrench show, but you have to actually, that's the only way. We can't find you otherwise. I don't know why.
Because there's like 600 Bruce Waynes. Like literally.
That's fair. That's fair. So what is the branch? What is the
she's a
wrench
cock blocker
do?
friend.
Are you a cock blocker friend?
What does that mean?
It means like if you go out with another
if I'm with a friend and she's drunk and incapable of making correct decisions, absolutely 100%. I will keep someone. Friend. Yeah. But
that's
if they're of their own sound and mind and they want to go bump and grind on someone, that's fine. And then if they're sober when they decide to leave with someone, then look, that's on them. But it's the, sobriety part of it. Dick
Butter, you're on point. Hold on. Wait, where is it?
That is a really weird sentence. I'm just not even gonna.
I know. Pause. I don't know what to.
Dick Butter, you are so on point. Like out of context, that is uncomfortable.
Pause.
Get ready. Pause. Someone's gonna clip that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's fine. I've said worse. Please stop shaving your vagina anyway. Hey, do we remember when we started doing it? Why did we even start doing it?
So because, and I know we talked about this the last episode.
No,
when
we
I
didn't.
got not this specific. She's like, I would have remembered.
I was like, wait, did we talk about?
No. Well, we talk about vaginas so much anyway, but
which is fine because men talk about their dick and balls.
And y'all should not be proud of that because that shit's ugly. Like, I don't care. I've seen some, we're not going to say how many, and all various shapes and sizes. And they're not cute. They're not, especially when you guys are trying to do this situation. I saw this comedian one time where she said
trunk? I learned what it is.
Yes.
The elephant trunk.
Yes.
Oh, I did learn that.
And I forget it's Isla Schlesch. I don't understand her. She's a comedian. She was like, basically the female retribution to that is if we call it the raptor vag. And it's like where if your guy keeps doing this, you go up to them and you just like grab your parts and just go like that, like a raptor. And that's the female. That's the female equivalent to like the male elephant. You go and then just like run off, smoke bomb. In case you're ever in that situation, that is.
Okay. And we're here.
Well, we're like 10 minutes in, right?
Helicopter.
Yeah, I think it's helicopter or elephant or something like that.
Bruce Wayne, I'm sorry. Maybe it's not the show for you to be. My bad. I didn't realize we were gonna go this like.
I'm not surprised. It's
what's his deal? What's he sad about? Are you sad about raptor vag? Oh, you know what? He might not have someone in his life to do raptor vag, and that might be why you're sad. It's okay. There's someone. I can't.
Oh my God. Okay. Right.
Anyway, I feel like at some point we had a question that we were trying to answer. Oh, shaving. How?
Yeah. Yes. When did you even know that became a thing?
I was 23 and I had just started dating my second husband. So my first husband, like we talked about, Jehovah's Witness, didn't have sex before marriage, blah, 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 blah. And so if there was no like handbook on like sex as a Jehovah's Witness, there certainly wasn't one called, keep up with your unkempt bush. All right. There's no biblical verse that's like, thou shalt not.
By the way, this is just
bushy.
Frost. It's just Paper Street coffee. This is not.
I mean, I wouldn't judge if you were drinking.
I'm just saying. I mean, right now I feel like I should have a beer, but
we should have like something.
Yep.
But no, when I started dating my second husband, he was like, and he was the master manipulator. He was like, I would like go down there more if you would shave. And like, I didn't really even, because again, raised super religious, like I'd never seen porn. Like there was no, like some comparisons. I was just like, Allie, and I was like, really? All right. And so I did. And he was like, loved it. And I just like kept doing it. I think because like it inculcated in my brain there was something wrong with the way I looked before, sort of thing. And then it just sort of stuck. But yeah. How about you guys? It's your sharing time now. Welcome to the Vagina Monologue.
Probably same. I know, right? Oh my God. The Vagina Monologues. I remember that. Patty LuPone. Yeah, it was probably in my 20s, like my early 20s. Yeah. First time I slept with a girl. So yeah.
That's fair.
Same thing. And she was not, like she had shaved and I wasn't shaved. And so I was like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do.
So same. Like
no one told me, but it was kind of like, oh, this is just what you're supposed to do. So
I was in my teens.
Early.
I was in my teens. Yeah.
Man, I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I mean, I knew-ish, but like the only other women that I'd been around that weren't clothed were as a teenager, and like they were all the same as me. They were, I mean, if you're not sleeping around, like, why are you shaving kind of thing? So
yeah,
like as a teen, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Might be different now because you have access to all kinds of information everywhere. So but back then it was like not the same.
Yeah, but I don't remember ever being like told like you should. Like it's a thing that you should, kind of like what you were saying, where it was like, hey, you probably should. You know what I mean? I just kind of remember just starting to do it, but I lost my virginity when I was 16, so I was young.
Wow.
So I was very young.
Do you feel like that was like, are you happy about that? Or do you have like some hesitations about that?
No,
if I may ask.
No, with the person that I lost it with, it was like my high school sweetheart, I guess you could say. So I was very emotionally connected in that relationship with him. I mean, the rest of the story after I lost my virginity to him is a shit show. But at that particular time, like I felt like it was the best situation, I guess you could say. Because before that, and I've actually never shared this with anybody on YouTube or whatever, but I had a situation before.
Here we go.
That was not a good situation with a guy, with an older guy. And so when I was with the person that I lost it with, I felt like it was the best choice for me. And I'm glad that I did. You know what I mean? So, but when it came to like shaving and stuff like that, I don't remember, again, someone telling me. It was just kind of what I did, and I have done it ever since. Yeah.
And I mean, it's no preference to you like do what makes you happy. Some people, it's just not comfortable. Like it's not comfortable to not be shaved. So
I mean, I've never waxed. Have you ever gotten a wax?
I'm too much of a baby. Like I've literally taken needles to the face, and it's just like the idea of someone being in my butt crack. Like it just like I know because there's
is that where it goes
up like this?
If you do like a full Brazilian, it is all up in your shit.
You have to like the legs are up, my babe. Like they're up. Everything.
Yeah. Oh
you split everything.
Oh no,
no. They like literally spread your butt cheeks and say, "Hold on, like you're like you can choose not to do that, like that." You don't have to wax your
Wait, you can is there
it's like if you're gonna do it, you might as well do the whole shebang.
Is it like a clinic? Do they have to have like degrees to be able to just...
I mean, they have to have a certain like it has to be like a licensed esthetician. You can't just like go on the street and start randomly asking people, can I wax your butthole?
Well, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm sure people do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But preferably.
But like in your the people that give you a manicure and a pedicure and do waxing, eyebrow waxing and whatever, can they just...
If they're licensed to do so, like you still have to, any public service that you're offering, like to a person, like a physical public service,
you have to register with the state for...
You have to have, because then there are oh god, I'm trying not to even look at the comment section because my ADHD will just like...
It's okay. This is an important one. Jeffrey Birchfield may as well bleach the bunghole too while you're down there.
I mean, I guess I'm just comfortable with my butthole. I've never felt the need to change the color.
Same,
but
girl. Same.
there might be some people out there that I don't. Man, we're 16 minutes and 16 seconds. Like, dude, what else is there left?
I have not asked one question yet. That was actually like... That's
okay. This is how we start, and then we'll eventually get to the questions. But
so can you... okay, let's bring it back down. Can you remember the first date you were ever asked on? How they asked you on any of that?
Me? So,
were you actually asked on a date? Because I don't think people do that anymore.
Jeffrey suns his... Oh, I have heard about butthole sunning. All right.
I will... Don't take me down that rabbit hole.
I know. Okay.
I highly recommend Dick Butters waxes.
Oh God. Jesus. Oh, okay. So I was in Ella. So I was homeschooled from 7th grade on. So 6th grade was my only year in like middle school. And so elementary school, none of the, like, I was such an ugly kid. Like there was no way any of that was happening. And I had crushes on people that I was not even in the league. And people were so mean to me in elementary school. Like, oh God, they were so mean. I don't even remember having any friends. I know I did, but when you're not like allowed to hang out with people outside of your religion, it's really hard to establish connections with kids, you know what I mean, in elementary school, because you do stuff with them outside of school. So
yeah,
that was just weird. And I was like really into Sanrio, which was Hello Kitty's everywhere now. But back then, you could only get like Sanrio things at this one store in the mall. And I had like an obsession with Karopi, which was the frog.
Hello Kitty, that's my girl.
Everything.
I have everything.
That's her.
You can see it on my...
Yeah. Yes. And now it's like everyone else is like, oh my God, I love Haley. I said, no, you don't.
I'm like,
you weren't there. You weren't alive.
You didn't live it.
Yep.
And now it's like a TJ Maxx. Anyway. So
everywhere.
The 1 year I was in middle school is when I started to, I guess, like blossom and stop looking like a pod person, you know, like someone molded me horribly out of clay. And so guys would ask me out, and I, you know, when you've gone so long being like the weird, unattractive girl, like it doesn't even matter what the dude looks like. I had some really crusty dudes like into me, and I was just like,
me too, girl.
Me.
Yeah, that's why I don't share my past that often, because not on my best look.
It's just what low self-esteem does a number to what we do.
Yes.
But so I wasn't allowed to date, obviously. So I was known as the girl that would give like the letter. So anytime a guy asked me out, and I would be like, yes, let's boyfriend, girlfriend. Oh my God, yeah. I would write a letter, and I would be like, okay, so we can be boyfriend and girlfriend, but you can never call me. You can never come to my house. We can never do anything outside of school. And if you ever see me in public, you have to pretend like I don't exist. Because my parents couldn't know.
Yep.
And that would last like for like 2 weeks. And then the dude would be like, all right, this is like, so yeah.
So you never actually went on like a real date?
Nope. Not until I was maybe 17, because it's like when you're somewhat close to 18, if you have a crush on someone, they sort of just like, you know, you go and do group things together, but like alone on a date was never allowed. You always had to have a chaperone. So my first husband and I, when we started dating, I think we were maybe alone a handful of times before we were married, because like they don't trust you not to. So you got to have like people there.
Did you even have that urge to? If you haven't been allowed to do anything with anybody, do you even know what's out there? Do you even know?
I mean, like we kissed and like we kissed and like we had a few like passionate moments when we were by ourselves in like a room, but it was sort of complicated. It was a complicated, you know, when you have to ignore all of your natural like hormonal issues, like it's just a complicated thing.
How do you feel? And I need your honest opinion on this. How do you feel about girls now that do not go through the awkward phase? I feel like it is unjust that we had to go through an awkward phase and these girls now do not go through it. I would like your honest opinion, please.
So it's funny that you said, so I had a very conflicting moment today. So I had to coach 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. this morning. And so on my way home, it was like just starting to get light out. And there's this like arts college, like right on the corner. And so like all the art students were like walking around and stuff. And there's this one, I don't know, people walking, I don't know what it's called. And so you have to stop and you have to wait for them to go. And she was like, I don't know, maybe 16, maybe 17. And she was just an average looking girl. Like the rest of us, there wasn't anything like she wasn't like striking, but she was just average looking girl, normal clothes, blah, blah. But the way she was walking across this crosswalk was like, head up, chin up, the shit. And she's like smiling and waving as people and I'm just looking at her. And my first instinct was, fuck you, you little shit.
With that kind of confidence.
Like, you know,
fucking 16 has that much confidence.
Like at 37, I'm not strutting across a goddamn crosswalk like I'm, you know, Miss Congeniality. So that was my first instinct. And my second instinct was like, oh, wow. You know, it really is like, there's so many positive, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. It must be nice, but I'm interested to see how they grow up. I feel like there is so much push to like, I don't know what the word is, but it's just, there's so much like PC, like, you know, gentle parenting, blah, blah, make sure they, and it's just like, are they going to grow up and not know how to function when things don't go their way or when their environment is not the way that they're used to? So I guess, I don't know.
I mean, they're not. I mean, we see that. I mean, we see that out here with a lot of high school kids that come in and, you know,
very different.
The way they're talking to each other. Like, it feels like it's more than just the norm, like how you tease your friends or how you banter with your friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it really feels like it's digs and it's nasty and whatever. And then when you hear them speak to their parents and you see, and for, excuse me, for me as a mom, I remember when we first had our son, like I wasn't a confident mom. I was a very insecure woman, wife, mom, like, and I've gotten confident with time and with work. And I see these moms almost like cave into themselves when their children start to speak to them that way. And they let them yell at them. They let them curse at them. They let them do all these things. And I'm just like, as a mom, I want to be like, if you don't get the fuck out of this place before I like, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like these kids are getting parented. I just don't. And it's showing a lot because you see so many times and you hear these stories about these kids that can't deal with change. They can't deal, but not in a way like for our son. He used to have a really hard time adjusting to change. But one of the things that we do is we almost enforce change more than not so that he can find ways to regulate himself. And we work through situations where it's like, okay, but it's not going to go perfectly every time, but how can we still make it through? So that when you get into the real world, it's not always going to be the way that you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. I don't have kids. So I try not to give too many opinions on like what I would do if I were a parent, because you don't know.
Right.
Like
Until
you just don't
yeah.
until you have them. Like I can tell you all day long, like how I treat other people's children, but like the kids at CrossFit that are running around, like everybody will laugh at me because, you know, the coaches that like, especially like the female coaches that have kids, they're like, all right, you need to go back in the room. You need to da-da-da and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, hey, you go get in the room. Like, get out of my way. Are you kidding me right now? You're going to get hit with a barbell. And they're just like, and I'm like, and then one of the male coaches was like, how did you do that? And I was like, you got to talk to them like they're an adult. Like they could get hurt if you sit there and just try to, like, I don't give a shit about your kid. Like, get them out of the way. Like in that moment, like
it's safety.
Yeah.
It's about
safety. But like, you know, I think at the end of the day, every parent just does the best they can with what they got.
Yes.
Could they do things better? Probably. Could they do things worse? Probably. And I think the kid's just going to turn out how they're going to turn out. I mean, I've seen kids come from the absolute worst possible parental example and be amazing, and vice versa. So I think it's anyone's game, honestly.
We the last time you were on, we did talk a little bit about coping skills. When it comes to like ADHD or neurodivergent children and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I'm
sorry. I'm getting.
Where do you want to go? Tell me.
That's why I get like so distracted by the comments. Cause I'm like,
someone's children. What? Can she treat me that way?
You're so mean. I'm not mean. I am not mean. I'm firm. And when there is a child whose parent is not controlling them,
you have to pause on I'm firm.
I'm firm.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Did Allie do any experimenting? I actually didn't go to college. So no, I didn't. No college for me. Anyway.
Bernie, I'm going to get to that question in a second. But the coping skills for someone who's neurodivergent, right? So I feel like Colleen and I have had to help my son learn so many coping skills that they're not necessarily coping skills that we would use.
Yeah.
They're just naturally specific to him because that's what he's going through and that's how his brain works.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, the last time you said no one kind of gave you those skills when you were a kid.
Well, I think ADHD in kids, and we talked about this, is just very different from ADHD in adults. I don't begrudge my parents for not putting me on medication and not, doing this and that, as far as that was concerned, because I was just an overactive child. That's just what they saw. But as an adult, I look back and I think I see like how many times I got kicked out of class, how many times like my friends' parents didn't want me to come over because I was too much to handle. And it would have been nice to possibly have like some options given to me to have better experiences in that department. But as an adult, like when I see other kids that are going through that, I love seeing parents that do what you guys are doing and they're not trying to bend their kid to fit a mold that they had when they were kids. Like they're willing to, just be like, this is my child. This is how we do things. If you don't like it, there's the door. Like you don't have to be here. And I love that. I love the parents that do that because my brain just does not think. It does not. It literally brick wall refuses to think a certain way. And when someone is treating me in a negative way because I can't understand, or if they're making fun of me because of the way I'm doing something, it's like, it's shitty. It's shitty because that it just doesn't make sense to me. It just
our kid used to reach a social battery level.
Oh yeah.
Right. So there was too much stimulation. He had his time limit for that. His body would be like, no more. I need to go sit by myself. I need to go he would just go play by himself. And that was it. He didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Now he almost doesn't have, I have more of a social battery level than he does. he'll go all day now.
Yeah.
It doesn't even bother him anymore.
I mean, that's awesome.
So how did you do that? Because you seem like you have a social battery that never ends.
So before I was diagnosed ADHD about a year ago now. So before that, I'd been just like master suppressor. Like I was really good at just keeping everything locked away. And then I would just have, so we sort of just like had a routine of Allie's like sad days and Allie's happy days. So we knew when I had 3 to 4 good solid days that the bad ones were coming, which I later learned that's like your ADHD break. So we have no natural development of dopamine. And so your body does what it can, but it runs out. Your brain just runs out. It just like out of gas, and it goes so fast. And now with the medication that I'm on, so I take Vyvanse, it makes things, it's better to a degree because I'm able to like do my job and, do the things that I want to do. But because ADHD medication doesn't stay in your system, it's not like depression medication where you can build up and, it works. You have like X amount of time when you take it and then it's gone. And then it literally, I feel like I'm dropping. So like today, because, knew we had a podcast later in the evening, like I microdose like pre-workout in between my ADHD pills to kind of like help me stay level. But then it becomes a problem because I can't come down.
You can't come down from it.
Oh.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, how's the the detox, I guess you could say, or the drop that you hit after like a day like this?
Today's been good. Like if I'm just in like a good groove, like everything is manageable, I'm fine. We can do this all day long. But then I'll reach a point where everything physically hurts, like talking, looking, being anywhere, everything hurts. And I actually had that happen to me week before last. It was not, what is today? Thursday? Yeah, it was Friday. It was Friday of last week. Anyways, it was the whole week. I was tanked, like didn't want to post on social media, like just I don't even know how to describe it. You just go into the like dark hole and you just don't want to have to do with anybody and anything. And you'd rather not exist, not in a way like you're like talking about doing anything to harm yourself, but you just like I was in a point where there were just so many people needing me at once because I run a business and I'm a coach and, a wife and all of that. There were just so many people that needed me at once. Like I just crashed. I was just like, so many clients had problems last week. Like so many things went wrong that I was like, I physically can't. And I did. I completely crashed. Like for 2 days, I was out. But.
All right, hold on. Let me get Heidi. Did Seema block herself? I mean, we didn't block her. I hope hi, Seema. I love you, Seema. Did I not answer? Craig Paisley. Hey, what's up, dude? I see you. I can't pull it. There we go. What's up, dude? And then somewhere in there, CrossFit is now firm. I don't know where it went, but he's now firm. Thanks to Jan Clark. Pause.
So when you experience that feeling of like just overwhelm, I guess maybe overstimulation, like there's too much going on and you start to feel like your body is breaking down and you were saying you feel like pain everywhere and how are you able to work through that? Are you able to call your gym and be like, I can't come in today? Or like, how do you push through still having to work and show up for your business, your coach, your coaching position? I'm sure like your husband is a little bit more understanding because you guys have that connection, that communication, that relationship. But when it comes to your business and your coaching, how are you able to work through those days?
So last week when all that was going on, I wasn't coaching. I I coached early mornings last week. So 5:30, 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. So like first thing in the morning when my medication is fresh as a daisy, I'm good to go. Because again, and actually it's worse on days that I have to coach so early because I cannot take my medicine. And I've tried that and coach early and then come home and then take my medicine with breakfast. But you go through an immediate withdrawal. So if you don't take your medicine, your body literally goes through withdrawal. And you feel fatigued, you feel tired, you feel irritable, you feel like you have a wet blanket of cement on your brain. And if I try to take my medicine after that's already kicked in, it's near impossible to get it to go away. It's actually really shitty. It's really like the fact that your entire well-being is dependent on this tiny little pill sucks. So I have to take it early when I coach, which means it runs out faster. So like today I was tanked by like 1 and I ended up taking another half, which I've done in the past. I've ended up taking a little bit more than I normally would just to keep me, even keel. But as far as my clients, most of the clients that were just blowing me up just left and right is because of things that were not an emergency. They were just
Annoying.
like, this is on my brain and I need to get this out and da-da-da-da-da. And it was like a couple clients and I love all of them. Like I love all my clients. I fired a client last week because I was like, we're done. Like I'm not in, like she'd already done some things that I was over with. Like, and
this was just the next level. Yeah.
And then this, I was like, you know what? I'm out. And it was pretty aggressive how I fired her. But most of the clients, like the 2 in particular I'm thinking of, I literally told them because they've been with me 2 years. I was like, I hear you. I find value in everything you're saying. I want to acknowledge like that we're going to do something about this, but my mental health is not in the place right now to talk about this. And this has nothing to do with our work for this week. These are all just like theories and extras.
Yeah, it's
so
extra. Yep.
Let's put a pin in this and I'm going to reach out to you next week. And they were both like, cool, absolutely. No problem. Hope you feel better, blah, blah, blah. It's just,
that's good.
If it's a new client, then I just got to deal with my shit. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, we've reached a point now where Lil G's kind of realized that he is different, right? He's kind of come to a place where he realizes that his brain works a little differently. He doesn't do the same things that other kids do. I mean, he learns a lot from being around other kids, but he's realizing now he's a little bit different. And so we're realizing now that we're going to explain to him that he is autistic, that he, I don't know, like we're both kind of, oh my God, how does that affect the kid or whatever? But
I mean, it's a superpower. It's literally, and it's an exhausting superpower. So obviously like ADHD and autism have some very layering.
Well, the reason we always talk about this with you too, is because he's been diagnosed with ADHD as well. So
but there's a ton of similarities between the two.
Like it feels like they all cross over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in so many ways. So it's like, I think for a minute when he was first diagnosed with ADHD and severely speech delayed, then they're like, well, you should get him tested for autism. But I was like, wait, don't they all like ADHD and speech delay? I'm confused. Like it's just, everything seems so intertwined.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Jan Clark, I hate the superpower narrative.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say that is superpower, people associate that with heroes, like superheroes, but superpower, it means like, so for instance, people with certain types of autism and certain types of ADHD, we're very attuned to people's gestures, their facial expressions, their moods, the energy that they're giving off. And it sucks because you can't connect with everybody. You can't get along with everybody. Like, you can be polite, but like, there are certain people that I engage with that I immediately know that they're not a good person. Like, you can't convince me. I don't care. Like, I know they're not a good person because, and it's so hard to explain that to people who don't have these hypersensitive brains. But you can tell by the way they carry themselves, by the way they talk, the way they move. And it gets exhausting because I've grown up my whole life wondering why, like, I couldn't make friends with certain people. And it's because I knew that they were problematic. And it came out later on, like, most of the people, I would say 99% of the time, I'm 100% right. I just got to sit back and wait. Like with your son, is same thing. Like, making friends may be difficult, but it's because you pick up on things that other people just can't feel and see.
Well, he's starting to recognize it. That's why I know, Jody, you were like, no, don't. He's just starting to recognize it. I don't want to not explain it when he wants to have a conversation about it or understand things. And I also get Jan, and I get you, kind of, some parts can be a superpower. Others are constantly slamming their head into a wall or beating up their parents, and all the behaviors that come with that.
Well, there's different levels.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that. It's not like the spectrum is large, and you, like, baby, you worked in a house for special needs adults, and it was very different. You didn't know what was going to happen to you that night. Like, it just,
well, my friend just texting me earlier today, she's a special needs high school teacher. And when I tell you the scars that she has on her arms from being bit, from being scratched, from being chewed on, from being punched, like, she literally, scars that will never heal on her arms. And every year they have to go through, like, training on how to disable, because they can't fight them. They're not allowed to fight them. So they have to learn how to defend themselves without fighting. And these teachers are so not paid enough to do this. But anyhow,
I forget what it's called, but when I worked in a house with disabled adults, we had to be trained in that, and it's ways to restrain without hurting them. So it was things like, if they were coming at you with their hands, you would like press their hand to come around, and then I'm behind them. My head is down by their shoulder blades because you can't be up here because they could come back at you this way. Like, there were certain things we had to learn how to do takedowns, safe takedowns, to where, like, we would have to take them down and then wait for somebody else to come and intervene, or hopefully we're able to, help regulate them so that they could stand up safely. And, whatever, an incident that I had, and he was a sweet kid, but he was bigger than me. He was like 6'5", a very, very big, a big kid. And what happens in these houses, yes, comm holds. There was a word that they used, but that's exactly what it was. And when the supervisors come in, the flow of the house completely gets thrown. I say it's like they throw glitter in the air when these supervisors come in, and then we're trying to catch all the glitter as it's falling down. We have to pick up all the pieces, and all the guys would get very anxious, very nervous. They just did not like these people coming into their house. So one of this one particular kid needed to follow a rule. They needed to put shoes on. He never liked to wear shoes. We allowed him to wear socks that had, like, the stickies on the bottom, but to them that wasn't enough because it was a safety thing. So I took him to his room to try to get him shoes. And I had went into his closet and reached down to get his shoes, and came up and he grabbed my ponytail, like put his hands into my ponytail and grabbed the back of my head. And so I had to put my hand over, and I had to just stand there. And I was shouting for a woman that was in the next room, just saying, hey, I forget what her name was. Hey, I could just use a little help. I could just use a little help or whatever. And they didn't step up, and they didn't whatever. And this boy is looking at me, because he's a young boy, is looking at me. And I'm like, he's about to put my head through a wall. Like, that was the look I had in his eyes. But I was able to calm him and keep him centered. And then I needed to just take a minute, and I never worked in that house again because it's not just us protecting them, but we need to protect each other too.
You're
We need
having to fight every instinct that your body's telling you to do.
Yep. And so, yes, crisis prevention, intervention. Yes. Thank you, Jeffrey. So there is such a spectrum of it, and there's different ways that we can support them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. I was just able to get my oldest to be okay with constantly wearing socks. Yeah.
I mean, if it's something that's not hurting anyone, like I've seen some parents, like they're like making their kid wear something that they don't want to wear.
Yeah.
And it's clear that, like, you know, it could be a texture thing. It could be a million different, they don't have to wear it. Like, pick your battles, battles.
Yeah. And we're working with I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, we're working with our son on food. I'm trying to get him to eat more food, you know, and it is that fine line between having him tell us. But the best part about this, working with his speech therapist, is that he made a list of all the things that he didn't like. But then his therapist, which I love her, she's like, but have you actually tried all these things? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, then how do we know we don't try them? So I love the balance of challenging as well as supporting, you know, so trying to get him just to find one or two things that he can have that's different. Like, so having a carrot, like eating a carrot, having, you know, turkey or chicken or something else to just encourage him. And like, so today he brought a carrot to school because I put it in his lunch pail. And I was like, did you have your 3 bites that we, you know, decided together? And he was like, I didn't. I was like, okay, well, why don't we do it right now? And my favorite is he'll take a bite and he's like, 1. But he says he likes it. But that's like the fun part about, like, how do you challenge enough? And then how are you supportive enough? And so I think that it's figuring out that it's like, do you not like this because you don't actually like it? Or do you not like this because it's a texture thing, it's a sensory thing, it's a this, it's a that. And I think with more language and more support, you're able to kind of figure out like what it is, you know?
Heidi, I've been reading that only 2 pairs of pants in the world that she will wear.
I wear the same 2 pairs of jeans.
Yeah, I
own 30.
She has tried on 20 different pairs of underwear in one day once.
And we keep them. And do you keep your jeans, like, because one day you're gonna wear them? And I haven't worn I've worn some of these jeans in like months.
You know, I think everybody, doesn't matter like what you got going on. I think everybody has their favorite stuff that they want to wear, but texture wise, like I can't. There's just certain things, like Vindicate has all of the shirts that he makes from the comfort colors. Like, I've had to go so far as to like look at the manufacturer of the shirt that a brand is selling so that I know how it's going to feel when I get it, because I just kept getting these shirts that I couldn't stand. And Comfort Colors, in case you guys want to know, for your son, is a solid, like, it's soft enough, and it's like, I can't describe it. You just got to know it. And I have like so many of those from different brands.
So do we, from Vindicate.
Vindicate.
And when he came out with those hoodies, I mean, he's getting a free plug right now. But the soft hoodies, the Hampton whatever,
Hampton's hoodies,
immediately texted him because he only had like 2 colors out.
We did too. We immediately did too. Yeah.
I'm ordering. I'm getting.
No, I ordered 3. Because
did you get the crew or did you get the hoodie?
So I originally got the hoodie, and then the next day, and I was like, "You son
of a bitch, take my money!" Because
so he like swapped it out for me, because I don't prefer hoodies because I don't like the feeling of being choked.
Tall? Yep.
So crew necks all the way.
Hell yeah! When I saw those, I was like, "That's it." Yep.
Oh, I did want to ask you about collaborations to kind of the way. All right, here. So you got this one. Let me just.
Oh, we're pulling the receipts. Okay.
Yeah, we're pulling up the receipts because this is.
You have some good receipts. They're so funny, my girl. Whenever I'm having a day like that, I'm like, what? I'm like, what Allie post today? I need something.
And that's why, that's the only reason why I do it. That's genuinely the only reason why I do it.
So this was one of my favorite collabs that you did.
Yes. I call that the burpee clap back.
And I can't even tell you how much I love that song. That was like 99%.
Most of my strategy on videos is picking the right song to like hit the right demographic.
Where'd I go?
That's what it is.
Oh, so
but
you
with that
song first, and then
no, so I didn't have the song first. So I saw someone's video like forever ago on TikTok, and it just stuck in my brain. And it was like when someone's trying to jump you, but you do like jujitsu or something like that, and it was a similar setup but different. And it just always stuck in my brain. And while I was at the Masters, I was like, and talking with everybody, I was like, all right, we got to do a video. We have to, like, all of us together, like, we got to do a video. And it just like, all right, we're going to do it this way. And so then I'm sort of like staging everybody and telling them like how we're going to do it. And we're trying to come up with movements because we're not in a gym. So like, cause kipping pull-ups would have obviously been the first go to.
Yep.
So then it was funny because like when I had Rachel do pistols, because like, your girl can do like 2. Because my body don't bend that way. They didn't get it. They didn't get that pistols, like pew pew, until like the video like came out and everybody started like literally dying over this girl doing pistols at the robber. And Heather messaged me and she was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even like make the connection." I was like, "You guys are so funny." But no, we had a good time. That was
so. How do you get together with that? Do you just DM each other?
Yeah. So we have each other's phone numbers just because we've been to different events. I've been on their podcast. And she was actually Heather was competing. Well, no, Heather and Rachel. And so I'd already been texting her and I was like, "Hey, do you have time? You want to do a video?" And she was like, "Absolutely." And then we made it happen.
So you went to the Masters and you went to the games. So when it comes to being around so many people, how are you able to be around so many people, go home, wake up, and then do it again the next day, and then go to bed and then do it again? Like, how do you navigate and manage when there's so many people that obviously they know you, obviously they want to come see you, plus you're there to be social and have these connections? How do you manage a crazy interaction?
Yeah, because if I see you at an event, I'm totally running up on you. No.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, events are different because I know what to expect. I prepare for it. I bring all my things. So I have noise canceling headphones. They are on my head like 60% of the day, honestly. And then I like make sure that I like bring my medicine. I bring my little microdose of pre-workout, but also just the adrenaline of being at the event. It sort of carries you. So I love going to events. I love meeting people. And I like getting to know them and talking to them. And I had some really fun conversations with a bunch of people. There was only, the games were a little bit different because of, the obvious. So there was a difficulty in trying to find a balance while at the games because it was my first games I'd ever been at. And I had to find a balance because you can't just ignore what's going on. So you don't want to just be, so that's why, I immediately called Rolo after everything happened. And I was like, because we had all the videos like set up with all these different people and all this stuff. And I was just like, dude, we can't, and he's like, no, absolutely. I was like, we can't. Yeah. So you just had to find a way to navigate it respectfully. But anyway, it was so much like meeting people. And then at the Masters, same thing. It was a way smaller scale.
Well, Jeffrey Birchfield missed you. I missed you at the games. He didn't get to see you at the games.
Well, and it's funny because people are always like, "Oh, I saw you. I was just scared to come up to you." And I'm like, I'm the least intimidating person out there. Like, but I get it. Like you see someone and you sort of just like, "Oh, I don't know if they want me to bother them." But no, I love meeting new people. Love it. Now, when I get home from these events, I crash. Like
I was going to say, how long is the crash when you get home?
I don't even take my medicine. I literally just like stay in bed all day.
You sleep for like 3 days straight? And
no, just one day. Like,
oh, okay.
Just get it out and binge watch a TV show, and then I'm good to go.
Ed AI in Waza, Miami, she was very nice to me and told me about her explosive diarrhea.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds. And that was why it was so funny meeting Rebecca. And I actually found out I was pronouncing her name incorrectly. I always said Fuselier, but it's not Fuselier. It's pronounced differently. But
Fuselier?
Big Becca, Fuselier. That's what it is.
Fuselier, yeah.
Yeah. It was a trip meeting her. So we flew in Wednesday, and we immediately go to her CrossFit box, CrossFit Bolt. And I'd been messaging her, and, you know, she was working for Savon, like, you know, doing the stuff. And she was like, I'll be at the gym in a little bit, you know, And so I meet her, and we're like talking for probably 20 minutes. And she's just very like sweet, very calm, just very mature, just this and this and this and this. And I looked, and I was like, oh, you're normal. And it's like, what? And I'm like, but in real life, you're like super normal. And she's just so low key, very mature, just very like nice, wonderful person. But like, chill. I'm unhinged online and in real life. And so when you watch her videos, I was just like, oh, a kindred spirit. She's going to be the same way.
Animal. That's it. That's the one.
No, she was the polar opposite in a good way of me. And I was like, this is a trip. But it was just the funniest experience, because my first thing, I was just like, oh, you're normal. Okay. Got it.
Do you have cats?
No, I don't have cats. Never had cats. Actually, always been a dog person. Childless cat lady title. We're talking about that. Very demure, very mindful. Yes, I met Blitz. Blitz likes to eat rubber. So he was like trying to eat our like water bottle things, which was really funny.
I'm assuming this is a dog.
It's her dog. Yeah.
Okay. Thank God.
Her dog. Yeah.
For a second,
my wife was
I was like,
wait, what? What?
Yeah. No, we had a couple of funny experiences at that, but met some of. So again, it's like females in the CrossFit space that do like what I do are very slim. They're just very slim. There's Becca, obviously, but she's also an athlete, so it's sort of like a different page than mine. Mm-hmm. But I actually had a chance to meet some people that I was excited to meet, and I'm not going to say who it is because honestly, I just don't want the drama. But it was some people that are well known in the CrossFit space. And I even got on my stories a couple days after I got back, because I was like, I just can't let this go. Like, I just can't. And I talked about how I was at this event and I wanted to get a picture with them because, like,
I saw this. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Wanted to get a picture with them. And it was like, I was told to wait. They needed to do like pictures together. And look, I'm okay. Cool. No worries. So I go and I'm like literally doing collab videos with other creators, probably gone a good 40 minutes, come back. And I was like, hey, you know, and they're taking pictures of themselves. Like, it's not like, it's just, you know what I mean? They were literally like posing with like different like products that they're trying to endorse and all this stuff. And it was just, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. And then I literally just walked away. I literally just left. And it's like, it bothers me again with how my brain works. If you pretend online to care about people and you pretend to be this like type of person, if somebody came up to me and was like, can I get a picture with you? I'm stopping whatever I'm doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's not like you're having dinner with your family or, you know, you're at church, like you're literally at a promotional event, blah. And oh my God, I was so irritated, but yeah.
So is that, I was going to ask you, what does it take? Because I know in the deli, this summer, someone, and last summer too, someone snapped their fingers to get my attention. And I freaking hate that. Like, I'm not a dog. Just,
Oh yeah.
I hate that. It was like, hey,
What? Yeah, no, God. Oh, my husband's uncle did that to me like the first Thanksgiving that I spent with them. And they were trying to get a family photo, and I was trying to get around like a chair or something. And his uncle was like, Allie, we need you over here. And I looked at him and I was like, I am not your child.
yeah.
And like instinct. And then I was like, shit, this is his family. But then his sister was like, thank you. Because apparently he wasn't like super liked at the time.
So what does it take to get you there? You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot for me to get there. There has
To get where?
To get to the point where now I'm gonna literally look at you and just be like, what, really? Because now you're the last person online. Or, you know, I'll respond.
Like
I won't
online or in person?
Online. We'll go with online.
Like what gets me like,
yeah. When are you like, I'm not turning the other cheek, screw it. You're going to get what you get right now.
I am, that is one thing I can say about myself is I'm not quick to anger. I'm very much not quick to anger because, I don't enjoy allowing people control over me. And if you're angry, you're allowing someone control over me, and we can't have that. So in my what was it? My post I just did yesterday where it was like, you know, women will be like, oh, my man would never let me wear shorts like that. And literally in the caption, it said, I don't even let Jesus tell me what to do. Like it's for real. So to get, first of all, any man ain't getting under my skin. The guy today, I let him get under my skin a little bit because when you're talking to someone who is in a space of education, like being a coach, and they are actively and openly treating people like trash in the comments and calling them the R word and being completely inappropriate, that gets under my skin because you are supposed to, with your 60 something thousand followers, you are supposed to be someone of a certain caliber. If you are like a coach, and this was not a CrossFit coach, this was like a bodybuilding, whatever, who's making fun of CrossFitters. And I even said in the video, like, oh my gosh, I completely acknowledge that, you know, this is just humor. I make fun of CrossFitters all the time. But then he turned into a D-bag. But outside of him, men, no, I just really enjoy coming up with the responses that I type out and making them as
fabulous.
I mean, you're great at
it.
That's really
like, that's it. That's the one.
That's really the only thing that it's a that drink brings me true happiness, honestly, is doing that. But what really gets under my skin, what makes me irritated is Sheila, I thought we already addressed that.
Heidi, we answered this.
Yeah, we're all no. She was like, so she is a lesbian. No,
is women who are hating on women in this space. Just keep scrolling. Like if I think something's annoying or I think somebody's posting the content I don't find value in, I unfollow them or I keep scrolling. But when I see like Danny Spiegel, this was a while ago. Somebody had posted I don't remember where, honestly. It was just a video of her. And there was a girl, and I went to her page and I don't remember who it was, but she had a pretty decent following and she was a CrossFit athlete and blah, blah, blah. And I think it was a video like it probably was on Hiller's page, honestly. It was a video like calling her out for something. But she immediately started attacking Danny for the way she looked, talking about her lashes, talking about, you know, her trying to look cute when she did it. And I'm like, look, I'm not Danny Spiegel's #1 fan. But that was just really
go from a standard of a movement to like personal.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck does her eyelashes have to do with anything, lady? Like dudes, I expect that shit from, but when I see it from a woman, I'm like, you know better than that.
So you don't like girl on girl crime?
No, that irritates me to no end.
You're surprised at that though? I actually would say
that's probably the most normal thing.
Yeah, women going after women.
Not on my page.
Okay.
Well,
They don't do it on my page.
Yeah, you've cultivated a good
Yeah.
group then, and you're like, I don't fuck around like this. Don't do this and whatever. But like,
normally we're
definitely
the most
women-
petty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
women to women
Like-
are the worst.
But that's
the
what I'm saying.
worst.
Like online on my page, that does not happen.
That's
Doesn't
awesome.
happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
But this goes back to the last episode. We talked about you can set standards for what irritates you and what you don't want to see online and blah, blah, blah. But if you create a specific type of content, you are, no matter what you believe, opening yourself up. Like you are. Like, I believe, do what you want to do, be who you want to be naked. I don't care. It's not paying my bills. But it's the internet.
And
so
don't be naive to the
right.
audience.
Like I see there are girls on there working out in half naked, like just barely clothed and posed and like I don't care. Do it, girl. Let me what leggings are you wearing? But there are women that are just like, you need to blah 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 blah. That is clearly not what I'm doing on my page.
Right.
And the one time that I remember, I told you guys the one time I tried to post like a picture of me in a Born Primitive bikini.
Yeah,
the
bikini. Yeah.
Immediately took it down because it just felt wrong. It was like, oh, I don't like this.
Girl, it's troll time out there right now. I'd pay for ALLison's.
Dude, if I had a spicy site, like it would literally just be endless videos of me in like a Squidward costume or like Fancy Patrick or just doing like red like Louboutins, just doing weird shit. Like you wouldn't even know it was me. It would just be costumes on costumes.
Listen, people would pay for that shit.
Yeah.
People pay for feet. So
thankfully I'm doing all right. I'm not gonna have to do that.
You don't have to take pictures of your feet and put them up there.
No feet. I did have somebody reach out. No, I wasn't. What was it? It was a friend of mine. She had posted in the CrossFit. She had put something in her stories. She was like taking a picture. She was standing on her tub or something. And she has a pretty decent following. And you could see her feet. And I was like, because you'll notice anytime I post pictures of myself, most of the time,
you
don't show your
feet. Yeah, you said that last time.
Because they will screenshot that shit.
And then go make money.
And I was like, ma'am, for free? You just for free? Get your shit together. Get a manager. Get some representation because this is not working.
Hey, so just to end the show the way that we started it.
Oh God.
So seriously. So do you remember that reel where it's like a sister teaching her brother about tampons and they put the tampon into the water bottle and it expands?
I'm pretty sure that was her boyfriend. If it's the one.
Was it her boyfriend?
Yeah. Did she have nose tape on her nose? Because she just got a nose.
There was
job.
A bunch of them.
I've seen a couple different ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different
ones. It's like Herculette or something. Anyway, I know the trend. Yeah.
Yeah, and they like pulled the tampon out of the water bottle and like Okay, so my dumbass, I had to try it to see if it was actually even close to the same thing.
Right.
I feel like it is. I feel like that's fairly similar, especially the pulling the tampon out part.
But you didn't film it?
Oh, no, of the water bottle? Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Are we not in it for the views or what?
No. No, I did it with.
Where are your receipts?
I know.
You can't tell me this shit without receipts.
I did. What? I did it in the deli too, like literally on the counter, just to like. What?
See, that is pure gold.
I wasn't there.
She wasn't
either.
there for it.
I wasn't there either. She didn't.
My
share
buddy.
For free? You need to get a manager. Get some representation.
I don't know how to do this.
She didn't share it
to monetize
but she shared it with our best friend.
Yeah,
who's a guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but didn't share it with me.
And a couple of customers that happened to be there at the time because it was a good time. Because I just wanted to know. I was like, hey guys,
you were just there, just like making memories, like some schmo. You weren't filming yourself for the world.
Nope.
Super weird.
Like, she was being present and didn't need to put everything on Facebook,
I just
or Instagram.
Heidi Kroom I can't even. What else have you done on deli counter? Listen, there's been some experiments on that deli counter. There's been some experiments.
There's been some rent paid on
Rent
those deli.
has been paid on these deli counters.
Yep. I don't know if we ever told you that. So when we used to do the open, her and I would have a bet where like whoever won got to give the other person had to pay rent. So there were things that she made me get into one of the dumpsters out back. And she wrote me a love poem that I needed to recite to her.
It's great. It's on Instagram. You can go find it. We put it on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to send that to me.
I'll send it to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've made her eat raw eggs.
Rocky did that.
There was another one too. Was it like I made you eat like an entire onion?
It was an onion.
I made her eat an onion like an apple. Yep.
See, you guys are so mild. Like it would be on. In fact, the next open, my friends, we're gonna do this together.
Rent? Yeah,
we're gonna do this together because
I want to see what you come up with.
I want to be responsible for somebody's.
Who? I haven't done CrossFit in over a year. Ain't nobody doing the open.
No, her friends. She made me dress in girls' clothes.
Friends. I did.
She made me dress in girls' clothes and go to the gym and work out.
Go to a class. Go to a Saturday.
And you didn't record that. Okay, I need you to send me all that.
Yeah,
it's on Instagram.
It's all on Instagram. Yep.
So yeah, I was in her clothes.
Yep. It was so
leggings.
Good.
I was in like leggings and a razorback.
A razorback.
Yeah. If you scroll back far enough on my Instagram, it's all there. Yes.
But did you have to work out in a sports bra? Or
she used to do that on her own.
Yeah, I always worked out in a sports bra.
Yeah, she used to do that shit on her own.
But with the leggings.
No.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
No.
See?
I had a razorback.
I need you two to do it again this year, and then whoever wins, I need to have a private meeting with
she's
the
gonna
other
win
party.
And then I'm gonna be in a sports bra.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be so much worse.
So horrible.
I found it.
No, stop. Are you serious right now?
No, mine.
Oh, thank God. Oh, okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Go for it. You gotta hit the.
See, you would have had to been naked in that dumpster. I'm sorry.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I lost 20.3 to my wife by a lot. By a lot. So my rent payment is standing in this recycle bin and reciting this beautiful.
I love how you had to look over to see it was a recycle bin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, that was no, you would have been bald. You would have been bald. You would have been naked. You would have had Trump Forever pasties on. Like,
what is with you and Trump pasties? Can you
it's like the most like I'm not obviously a Trump supporter, and that's
pasties
just like
terrible.
Like
just
the most like I don't know, the funniest like way that I could come up with a pasty.
With tassels?
Yeah.
Now see.
It's like, you know, eating all the cats. We're just gonna have that on the pasty with his face. Like, where did the cats go? Put that one on your vagina. Where are all the cats?
Oh my God.
Somebody better be making that shit. I'm gonna make all right. So Vindicate, you're still on here. Okay. $1 million idea. This is gonna be huge. Okay.
Is that a dumpster?
You're gonna make oh my God. That was pretty good.
That was awesome.
No, I think that's the only rent payment that's up here.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not the one with the clothes.
No,
that's rude.
Oh, what are you trying to find?
The one where you had to wear.
I'm doing thrusters in your clothes. Yeah, that was horrible.
I know.
No,
that's like the worst movement to do in that too. Oh God. No range of motion.
I was trying to find it and I don't see it.
It's in there. I put everything.
Probably got taken down by Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Probably.
Probably.
It's too hot. We got to take this down.
No, it definitely was not that. There was other reasons. It was not that. I totally. Yeah, it's a mess.
No, this is your first open, and then this is.
You have to remember, John took the video.
I know. This is parking lot.
I'll send it to you. We'll bring it up. I'll send it to you. It's definitely in there.
It's so funny.
It's absolutely horrific.
So funny.
But it's in there. Good. Anyway,
I mean, you
Hold
know
on.
that I have the capacity to do whatever I want with a photo of you. So we've
this
seen
one.
that.
This one. I
We've
found it.
seen
oh
that.
Jesus,
I
here we go.
found it.
Oh, she found it. It's
Oh,
great.
you ready?
I'm so
Just
excited.
let me set the mood.
You have to get close because it's gonna scan by. Okay, ready? Can you see this?
You can see me in the corner.
Right here.
I'm already.
Right there.
Oh
my leggings.
my God. Look at this precious individual. I mean, those are some solid lifts, though, considering your like room for activities was shrunken.
And my boobs were jumping. There was a point where we were doing double unders and my boobs were actually moving, and I was not okay with any of that
The
situation.
warm up was great.
It was
so good.
horrible.
I have
Wait.
implants, so I don't have that problem.
Oh no.
Oh, Vindicate, that is really funny. I just read it. Ginger in the dumpsters.
Dude, that was.
But hold on, you were talking about your $1 million idea.
Yeah, what
to
is that?
Vindicate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So Vindicate,
Sorry.
we're going to make specialty thongs out of that super like soft fabric with his face on it that just says, "Where are all the kitties?" You got a small window, my friend. Small. 1, 2, 3, go.
All right, girls.
She's out here making money for everybody.
I know.
Yep, always.
What's up next for you? I know you're going on Kippin tomorrow, right? With all the boys.
Yes. Yeah, we were going to do that last week, but then, all that other
Hey,
stuff
can you please
happened,
talk
so
about vagina with 3 men on one show? That would be amazing.
it's going to get unreal.
It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get
There
weird.
is never Alice trying to get me canceled. Whatever, get yourself canceled. All 3 of us have never been on a podcast at a single time.
This is
and
going to be awesome.
He's so funny. Like, even in his messages, like when we were setting this up it was like 4 messages. Basically, he's one of those people that he sends multiple messages with one continuation of thought. And it was essentially like, what time did we want to do the podcast? And so John goes, my ADHD can't choose between that many options. And I was like, my ADHD didn't even read those paragraphs. I'm not reading that. So y'all just tell me where to be and where. So yeah, we got that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
I'm pumped for it. I can't wait to see. And Rodrigo, what's his name?
Rollo.
Rollo.
Roderick is
Roderick, yes.
Like
So
legal
yeah,
name.
all of you guys in one space at one time is going to be highly entertaining. I'm excited for that. So I'll definitely be there.
I
Awesome.
wonder who's gonna be muted first. Like, who's gonna have to get muted because you guys will all talk over each other.
Well, it's funny actually. I think it's gonna be me and Grant. This is her first name.
Grant, yeah.
Grant. Okay,
Yep.
I was just like second guessing myself. Because Rollo's actually like super chill in real life too, and so is John. Like, they're more mellow, and me and Grant are more like the obvious. So I think it'll be a good balance. I think for sure. He even was
so
like,
out of 3
he was
guys,
like,
you're
she-
one of the 2 alphas. I love
God, I
every
really-
part of that.
I
She's
really
like,
feel
I
like
am
the
the
jokes are gonna write themselves tomorrow in that group. Like, Jesus. But
Please ask them when the first time was that they realized that they had to start manscaping their balls, because I would love to know that too. When do men figure that out? Or do they figure it
warned
out?
them. I warned them, especially as late as night as it's gonna be. Like, everything is going to be out of my system. All bets are off. Like, I cannot be held accountable for anything I say. Like, I'm going to make it weird for them.
It's gonna get weird.
Super weird.
I love it. I
Yes.
can't wait. I'm super excited to watch it.
Yeah,
So
that'll be really cool.
Well, thank you guys for letting
Lady-
me come on here and, talk
I
about
appreciate
vagina.
it so much. Yeah,
Yes.
I needed a good laugh tonight. That was
Listen,
fabulous.
I've been saying, so they do a chat appreciation day where they just literally talk about dicks and balls. That's literally all they talk about.
Okay.
and
I
I
have
don't-
so many
Emotional.
questions.
And I don't go on that show. That's the only show that I choose to just hang out
Yeah.
off screen
She laughs in the background.
because I'm laughing the entire time, so I cannot be present. On
Hey, you
this or
should come
whatever.
on that show one day
You should.
and make it really
And
weird.
You should, and also we should just have shows like this where we
Yeah.
talk about women because we're not allowed to talk about us that much. So
I have a plush penis pillow around here. I can
You still
bring
have it?
that.
I lost the
You
last
still
time we
haven't-
talked about it. I lost 2 stars as a lesbian for that. Do you remember that? Kenneth took away 2 of my lesbian stars for that. or added 2 stars.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
funny.
anytime. We could start our
Awesome.
own like regular chat about vaginas.
Women.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's like, you know.
Yeah.
I have questions about that too, especially straight vagina.
I feel like
I
every
know a lot
time
about gay
we
vagina,
try
but
to
not straight
talk,
vagina.
we like never talk about the actual topics to the point that you wanted to talk
Not
about them
ever.
because we are all over the place.
Not ever.
It
We
happens
never
on
do it.
every single one of our shows. Like she always has like an idea. She's like, hey, I want so-and-so to come on because I want to talk about this. I'm like, great. And so what I do is I come in like, and I'm the one that just asks like the questions that come to my mind. So, but we never actually talk about all the things that she writes about.
Ask
Yeah.
the men about. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be pretty unhinged tomorrow. They already know that's coming for sure. But again, like Roderick and John they're super chill, so there's not really much I could say that's gonna get them to react the way I want them to. So it's probably gonna be just me and Grant living it up.
All right.
Sounds good.
Girl, love you. I'll see you in the DMs.
All right.
Girl.
Bye,
Appreciate you
guys.
so much. Bye, guys. Oh, that was really cool. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us.
She's so fun. I know.
She's
I mean,
so-
we talked a little bit about what you want to talk about.
Whatever. It's fine. We went off the rails 2 minutes
From the
in,
jump.
so it doesn't even matter. It's all good.
But I love having conversations with her. She just talks about really good stuff.
Bernie Gannon, who's hosting this Kippin' It Real debate, make sure they don't fact check you more than
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Let's roll Carl's the new one that he sent us for Carl. We're gonna be with him.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Here we go.
But if you want to see if you're a brave person, what they call the 4 o'clock in the morning courage, wait when things go completely to pieces, when things are the worst, when your very best deal falls apart and your rent is late and you're tired and you're sick and everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't work, then it's the person that picks themselves up and says nothing is going to stop me. You know, the best quality in the world that you can develop is to develop the quality of being unstoppable. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit, and nothing will ever stop me.
HGR CBD. Let's go, dude. We'll see him in the beginning of October. We're gonna try to do another get their team live and have hopefully Vindicate on and try and schedule that. So that'll be fun. And then chat appreciation on Monday, and Taylor's coming in to talk about the debate tomorrow night. So yeah, should be a fun weekend. Everybody enjoy Kill Taylor tomorrow. Keeping it real tomorrow night, so we can see that happen, because that's gonna be funny as fuck. And yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Deuces.
We'll see you tomorrow.
That was so fun.